Hello there everyone, it is MITSO here and welcome back to another video on my channel. Today we will be discussing everything related to getting out of the high pressure in football. If you want to get in-depth analysis and a variety of training drills on this exact topic, getting out of the high pressure, you can also head over to the Econo Coaches Academy and sign up for free right now. The link is in the description below. Once you sign up, you will receive a lot of content in which you can try out and decide if you want to continue with the membership. On the screen right now you can view some samples of these videos. Do not forget to use the code MitsoJR to receive your 15 free days plus 50% of the following 3 months. I would highly recommend that you do not miss out on this amazing offer. Now let's watch a sample of the content that you will receive.
For example, now we play once and the Joker is playing here. If we play again with him, for example, this player is receiving press and now he's passing back.
And that's not it, you can view more details from the link in the description. So give it a try right now and take a step forward towards improving your game. So you might have already watched the previous part of this video where we explained applying the high pressure in details. If you haven't watched that video yet, you will find the link in the description below. Now let's start talking about countering this high pressure. As a center back, moving a couple of steps forward should be your way to go whenever you are under pressure. In these examples, you can see how the defenders were able to create some spaces for themselves by holding on to the ball and moving forward with it. It also helped in getting out of the pressure in general. This will also allow you to pick up various passing options if the opposition blocks them while applying the pressure. Remember that you need to be extremely careful so you don't lose the ball. Even if you can't pass the ball forward, you can apply this concept to play a safe pass to one of your teammates in the back line as well. If performed correctly, this will immediately get rid of the high pressure and allow your team to progress with the counter-attack. Remember that any mispass in that area will certainly result in a very dangerous attack for the opposition. This also works in a lot of cases as the opposition concentrates on blocking the passing lanes. So once you move forward, you are not only able to see new passing options, but your teammates will start moving around into the spaces between the lines in order to perform the counter-attack as quickly as possible. If the opposition is applying the high pressure on one side of the pitch, this usually happens during any throw-ins as you can see in the example. It is always better to have one player who moves way backward to create a simple passing option to the ball owner. When positioned so far behind, it's really hard to be marked by the opposition. So this player will always have good options with the ball. Sometimes the opposition would even stop applying the high pressure after such a pass. This player is usually a center back, a full back, or even a defensive midfielder. Once you get the ball out of that area, you will want to quickly pass the ball between all the players available. Concentrate on those short and quick passes to move the ball forward as a whole team and leave multiple players from the opposition behind. But remember that the main concept of any counter-attack is how quickly it should be performed, so try to keep everything as simple as possible. Those body feints and quick changes of directions would be really helpful in the midfield. By those you can keep the position of the ball under the pressure and resume the counter-attack. Before we continue, make sure to check out Best Soccer Store if you want cheap and high quality football jerseys. Do not forget to use the code MITSO to get $5 off every $20 at the checkout. Head over to bestsoccerstore.cn. Now as a fullback, you will probably have much more spaces compared to any other player in your team during this high pressure. So try to get the most out of it. In these 1 vs 1 situations, you should always be able to get in front of the opposition. Once you do that, you will kind of be breaking the structure of this high pressure, so quickly follow that with a pass to any player between the midfield and defensive lines of the opposition. Another very useful way of getting out of the high pressure is using one midfielder or even a forward to drop down and receive the ball from the defensive line. The reason why this is very useful is because it invites even more pressure from the opposition. Most of the times, the opponent will try to continue the pressing process and cover this player who will be dropping down. So if your team was able to get out of that final phase, it will result in a very dangerous counter-attacking opportunity. As you can see, the common thing in these examples is how quickly the transition was made. Usually, the player who drops down would play a one-touch pass to get rid of their marker, and then the team as a whole will start moving towards the other goal in order to create as much passing options as possible, since everyone would be involved in the transition. This needs a lot of training, as it can be referred as a team play where many players are required to do something at the same time. However, it's not that complicated, since it all comes down to that one player who drops down and starts the whole process. If that is done correctly, your team will then proceed with a pretty much normal counter-attacking situation. Remember that you can find more details on getting out of the pressure, plus some examples of training drills for coaches and players as well, if you sign up for free right now for the Econo Coaches Academy using the code MitsoJR. The link will be in the description below. So in the previous video we have discussed how to apply the Gegenpressing, which is also known as the counter pressure. But today we will talk about getting out of it. For me, I think this is one of the harder styles to counter, but your players need to be fully focused during those scenarios. If the opposition goes for multiple players in the pressing, the player who has the ball needs to be able to dribble past them, not in any attacking sense, but only to keep the possession of the ball. That's the best option, as the passing lanes will be blocked. However, if they go for one man only, it will be somewhat easier, as you can see in the example. And in this case, you need to be taking the attacking sense into consideration and try to take the advantage of the counter. Finally, I wanted to discuss two main things to avoid while getting out of the high pressure. You can call them mistakes to avoid, for example. So as you can see, the team here was able to get out of the high pressure and received the ball between the lines. You need to continue with the transition and pass the ball quickly. If the players are scared to lose the possession of the ball, they won't go for these passes, which will give the opposition enough time to recover from the pressure. Another mistake that you need to avoid is that you need to keep in mind that whatever happens, do not hold on to the ball and move towards your keeper with it. You can pass it to the keeper, but do not hold on to the ball and move with it backwards. This is really dangerous, as any mistake will result in the opposition intercepting the ball while your team is out of shape. So that was it guys, I hope you have enjoyed the analysis. A lot of you requested more videos on applying the high pressure, so I wanted to make sure I have enough examples to explain all the topics. I also wanted to thank everyone who responded to the stories on Instagram and mentioned the exact topics they wanted me to explain in those two videos. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments down below. Do not also forget to join my fantasy league, the link will be in the description as well. So as always, thanks for watching and I'll see you guys in the next one.